What does it feel like? To fail so many times that even hope starts to sound stupid. The metal case slammed shut with a dull click. His fingers hovered there longer than necessary, trembling, as if reopening it might rewind 5 years of mistakes. He pressed down harder, locked it, then leaned back against the workbench. The room smelled like burnt plastic and old solder. His chest rose once, twice. Then he whispered, "That's it. I'm done." Ethan Wu had said those words before, but never like this. This time there was no anger in his voice, no drama, just quiet certainty. The kind that comes after exhaustion has eaten every other emotion. 5 years. That's how long the idea had owned him. 5 years of waking up before sunrise, of hands cracked from chemicals, of notebooks stacked like bricks against the wall. 5 years of believing that if something mattered enough, effort alone would bend reality. He looked at the prototype one last time, a small device, too small for the amount of his life it had taken. "You don't work," he said softly, almost kindly, "and neither do I." His phone buzzed on the table, another email notification. He didn't open it. He already knew what it would say. "We regret to inform you." That phrase had followed him everywhere. Investors, manufacturers, grant committees, even friends after a while. Especially friends. He wiped his hands on his jeans, grabbed his jacket, and stepped out into the cold evening. The city lights flickered on, indifferent. Somewhere people laughed. Somewhere else, someone succeeded. Ethan walked with no destination, only the weight of a decision pressing down on his shoulders. He hadn't planned to stop at the corner repair shop. His feet just slowed there, as if they remembered something his mind didn't. The sign buzzed faintly. Inside, an elderly man was rearranging shelves with the patience of someone who had nowhere else to be. "Closed in 10, the man said without looking up. "I'm not here to buy," Ethan replied. His voice surprised him. It sounded hollow. The old man finally looked at him. Sharp eyes. Calm. "Then why come in?" Ethan hesitated. "I don't know." The man nodded, as if that answer made perfect sense. Most important conversations start like that. Ethan let out a short laugh. "I doubt that." The man gestured to a stool. "Sit, anyway." Ethan sat. Silence stretched. The kind that begs to be filled. Ethan cracked first. "Have you ever worked on something for years and watched it fail every single time?" The old man smiled faintly. "Every farmer has." "I'm not a farmer." "No," the man agreed. "But you sound like one." Ethan shook his head. "I've failed 127 times. The man raised an eyebrow. "That's a very specific number." "Because I counted," Ethan snapped, then sighed. "Sorry, I counted because each one mattered. Each one was supposed to be the last." "And now?" the man asked. "And now I'm quitting." The old man studied him for a long moment. Then he reached under the counter and pulled out a small bamboo stalk, dry and unimpressive. "Do you know how long this takes to grow?" Ethan shrugged. "A few months?" 5 years, the man said. 5 years where nothing happens above ground. People think it's dead, worthless. Then one season comes, and it grows faster than anything else in the forest. Ethan stared at the stalk. "Are you saying I should keep trying?" The man shook his head. "No. I'm saying you've been growing roots. Whether you continue is up to you." Ethan stood abruptly. "With respect, sir, metaphors don't pay rent." "No," the man agreed. "But they sometimes tell the truth faster than numbers." Ethan walked out before the words could settle. That night, he lay on his mattress staring at the ceiling. The bamboo stalk replayed in his mind. Uninvited. 5 years. He laughed quietly. "Of course it's 5, he muttered. His phone buzzed again. He finally opened the email. "We regret to inform you that after careful consideration, we will not be proceeding." He closed his eyes. For the first time in years, he didn't feel anger. He felt relief. Tomorrow he would sell the equipment, the notebooks, the parts. He would get a job, any job. The dream would become a story he told carefully, with humor, so people wouldn't see how much it still hurt. Morning came too quickly. Ethan returned to the workshop to pack everything properly. As he lifted the sealed prototype, something rattled inside. He frowned. It hadn't done that before. "Great," he muttered. "One last insult." He opened the casing. A membrane layer had shifted slightly, bent under pressure. He stared at it, then froze. "That's wrong," he whispered. His heart began to race. He pulled out his notes, flipping pages violently. Test 83, Test 91, Test 112. Every failure circled one issue: flow instability. "If the membrane flexes instead of resists," he said aloud. He stopped himself. This was dangerous. Hope had cost him too much already. He remembered the old man's voice. "You've been growing roots." Ethan sat down slowly. "One more," he said. "Just one more." Hours blurred. He forgot to eat. Forgot time. When the device finally powered on, he held his breath. The readings stabilized. Once, twice, 3 times. "No," he said, shaking his head. "Don't do this." He ran it again. Clean output. Again. Stable. His hands began to shake. He laughed, then covered his mouth as if the sound might break it. "It works," he whispered. "It actually works." He collapsed onto the floor, laughing and crying at the same time. 5 years came crashing down on him all at once. Funding followed faster than he expected. Manufacturing, too. The same people who once dismissed him now leaned forward, interested. He didn't resent them. He understood now. 2 years later, Ethan stood in a factory watching units roll off the line. A young engineer beside him asked, "How did you keep going after so many failures?" Ethan smiled. "I didn't. I almost quit." He visited the repair shop one last time. The old man wasn't there. The space was empty. Closed. Ethan left the bamboo stalk he had bought on the counter. If this story hit you, don't scroll past it, because somewhere in your life, there's something you're tired of explaining to people, something you've defended for years, something you've quietly started apologizing for, even though it once meant everything to you. Maybe you haven't failed once. Maybe you've failed 100 times. And maybe you're standing right at that moment where quitting feels less painful than hoping again. But ask yourself this: are you actually out of options? Or are you just out of energy? Because sometimes the breakthrough doesn't come after motivation, or confidence, or belief. Sometimes it comes after you've decided you're done. So before you walk away, before you pack it up and turn it into a story you tell with a smile, sit with it one more time. Not because it will work, but because you deserve to know that you didn't leave one quiet adjustment undiscovered. If this made you think about something you're close to quitting, write it in the comments. Not for advice, not for motivation, just to say it out loud. And if you're still here, maybe that's your sign that your story isn't finished yet. Remember to like the video and subscribe for more stories that make you think, that challenge you, and that remind you that the next step might be closer than you think.